recording. Good afternoon, everyone. This is January the 8th, and it's in 2022. This is our first girlfriend chat for 2022. And our topic today is vision for 2022. Now, if you remember last year, we did the vision board. We talked about the vision board and what it meant and what the purpose was behind it. And we worked on the vision board. And so today we're going to still be talking about our vision for 2022. Now, many people start out the new year making New Year's resolutions, making goals and deciding on things they want to do. And the vision board is similar to that. I didn't call it a vision board this time because I did something a little bit different. Now, the purpose, when you look up the word in the dictionary, Merriam's dictionary, it tells us that the word vision means dream, imagination, imaginary, desire, the things that we want to do. It's our dream, our desires for the year. I often tell you that you should seek the Lord about what God wants you to do, and He will give you things He would desire of you to do. But you as an individual also get to say things that you would like to do in the year 2022. And we often set long-term goals and short-term goals. We do that. We set long-term goals and short-term goals. And sometimes the goals, we get to finish them out the year. Sometimes goals we don't get to get to do them. And so that's what we call them long-term and short-term. Now the short-term goal means something that is attainable, something that we can complete within either a 6-month or a year period. Long-term goals are things that we're going to be doing ongoing over a period of time. So I want to encourage you all to think about that. So now what I need you to do as I'm talking about that and listening, and you're listening to me, what I want everybody to do is I want you to grab some paper or a book or a notebook of some kind that you may have. It doesn't matter. Get your notebook of some kind. Grab a pen, a crayon, a pencil, anything like that, because that's what we're going to use today to talk about the vision. Right now, I'm just doing the recording. Now, once I finish discussing the vision with you all, talking about it a little bit, then I will stop the recording because we usually go off recording. So those of you who are going to watch the replay, you're only going to get the part where I talk about what the vision is and how we do our vision. And then the other part is done in the chat room. So it'd be wonderful if you next time when we have girlfriend chat, be looking forward. And hopefully you can always sign up and let us know you'd like to be a part of the girlfriend chat. And we would be more than welcome to send you out a reminder so that you too can join us in doing the girlfriend chat. All righty. So now let's talk about the vision. Now, you may have set some goals last year. You may have set some, those of you who participated last year probably had some goals from last year. And if you do, we'll talk about those when we go to our private chat. But this year, what I want you to do is to ponder in prayer first. Lord, what is it that you want me to do this year? And allow and give God time to talk to you. Secondly, you want to think about just jotting down on the paper some things that you want to do, some things you want to change, some things you may want not to do. That could go on the board too. What do you not want to do? And you want to jot those things down. And then when you're looking at your plan, when you got all your little goals down, look over and see whether these are long-term goals or short-term goals. Are these things that you can accomplish and complete in a year? That would be the short term. Are these things that you can accomplish and complete that's going to take a little bit longer, that's going to take steps? Then you want to look over and see whether or not these are things that are dealing with your walk with Christ or a physical thing you want to do or family related, and you want to maybe organize it in that way. You have the freedom to do your vision document, and I say that now because I'm going to show you something different. Board or document or however you want to put it together, you have the freedom to do it in a manner that will work for you. Some people are very vision, they like color and bling, and others don't. They just like to write it out. Both are fine. You want to also, as you're looking over that, you want to see are these goals, have I set goals that are just, it's too many. You may have 55 goals, and that's going to be really hard to keep up with. But now if you set time limits on them, like I need to complete this in 3 months, You want to think about it. Then you might can have add on as you do completion. Okay. So I want to encourage you to really not do New Year's resolutions and say, well, I'm going to stop eating candy in 2021, 2022, starting in January. And but by January 10th, you're back to eating candy. I'm going to leave coffee alone. And you start out and it doesn't happen. Set goals that are attainable, and you have to set steps. That's the next piece of it. Once you set the time limit, whether this is short term, long term, 3 month, 2 month, you then have to have a plan of action. I know people don't like to do that. Those of us who are like flexible, we don't like to have plans of action. We just want to go with it. We just want to go with the flow. Let me tell you, ladies, going with the flow means you won't finish it. Because we will flow right back to what we're used to doing, and we won't do what we want to do because we get back in our routine. You have to set a routine, and it takes 21 consecutive days to establish a new routine. That's just to establish it. And then you have to continue it thereafter. And once you establish it, you will find that you will do it automatically. Let me give you an example. When you were young, it depends on where you were raised and how you were raised. And I'll use myself as an example. My grandmother was one of those that when you put your feet to the floor, you brushed your teeth and washed your face, you put your clothes on, and you made your bed. Those are 4 things you did before you did anything else. Before you talked about breakfast, go somewhere, you always did those 4 things. Whether you were going out of the house or not, you had to brush your teeth, wash your face, make your bed and put your clothes on. You cannot walk around the house in your pajamas. That was a thing she didn't like. So growing up, that was automatic for me. And funny as it may be, I was talking to, I think it was Donna, and I'm still that way today. Today, at the age of 58, I cannot get up and stay in my pajamas. Laugh, y'all, but I can't. Okay, because that was drilled into me as a child. We did a prayer shut-in in my church this last night, and I went to bed at 5 o'clock in the evening, got up for the prayer shut-in, and I had on pajamas. And my husband said, well, you can stay in your pajamas. And I'm looking, I thought about it for a quick second, y'all, and it was like, no, I can't. I'm getting up and going in off. I need to put on my clothes. So I got fully dressed. Okay, like it was the beginning of a day for me. So I'm just saying, when you create that custom, that ritual, that habit, if you create it, it will stay with you if you continue to do it. Now you might have a day you slip off, but for the most part, you won't. There's certain things, if you think right now, each one of you, I want you to think, because we'll talk about them when we come off the recording. I want each one of you to think for just a moment. What's one thing that you do automatically? And I want you to write it down, that you've been doing for years. Something that you do every day without fail. You do this. Write it down while we're talking. Take it and write it down. We won't discuss it now. When we come off the recording, we'll have that discussion in our girlfriend chat time. Now, going back to the vision, as you're setting your plan, after you look and you're seeing when, whether it's long-term, short-term, putting some time limits, then you're making that plan on how do I accomplish this? Then the next step you want to do is to think about how am I going to record when it's completed or the steps that I did. Some of the goals that you set will require you to set some steps to get to where you need to be. You might want to write those down, plan it out. There's nothing wrong with that. Others may, you don't need steps, you just know you need to do it. But you also want to document. That's the whole point behind the vision of 2022 that I like to say. You want to document your vision. You want to put it in some form of a visual that you like to do. I like you to use your creativity. I want you to plan your vision out. Plan it out, make it pretty if you like it pretty. But what we did last year, some of us printed out pictures of the things we wanted to do. Now, they were not necessarily pictures of us, but I went online last year and found pictures of things I desired that would kind of represent it. And that I would wrote it out, and that was my vision. And so when I went back to look at the vision for 2021, and I did, at the end of the year, I went back to see what had I accomplished of the things I desired to do in 2021. And to my surprise, I'm going to look at it now. I had only accomplished a couple of things. I was stunned. I thought I did better than that, but I was shocked. I'd only accomplished a couple of things. So now what do I need to do? Well, the next step then, after you do your evaluation of the previous year, if you're just getting started, then you'll do this next year. At the end of the year, literally at the end of the year, then around December, before December, about December 30th, December 31st, you'll sit down and go through and see what did you actually do. And if you're a good person who likes to keep up with things, then I would say keep up with it during the course of the year. But if you don't, at the end of the year, stop and look and see after you've made the vision to see what did you actually do. Did you keep up? Did you do one of the visions? And if you didn't get everything done, do not become despondent. That's the first thing I want to say. Do not become despondent. Do not go after yourself, put yourself down. That's not the important thing. Look at it and decide if this was something that you really needed to do. And if it is something you really need to do, then move it to where? To the next year. And Lord willing, if you see the next year, you will work on it then. Ladies, I want to encourage you not to feel like you are failures because you're not. Make sure you set goals that are attainable, that are important to you, that are, and it could be, like I said, it could be things that you want to do scripturally, biblically. There'll be some spiritual things inside you that you need to deal with. There may be some physical things you need to do that's different. There may be some financial things you may need to do that's different. There may be some family relationship things you need to do differently. There may be some household cleaning things you need to do differently. And you can put anything on your vision board that needs to be attained during 2022 that you want to change, do better in, or stop doing. Something you want to do new. You may want to do something new. Write it down, prepare yourself for it. How do you get to it? And then begin to execute your plan. So that's what the vision of 2022 is. It's sitting down, not making New Year's resolutions that you end up failing. Setting a vision for what you would like to do in the coming year. Making sure that you go before the Lord and present your vision to Him, always listening for His voice to guide you in what needs to be done, relying upon His wisdom to guide you in the right direction. And then at the end of the year or during the year, if you can, I want to suggest to do it during the year. Check out your vision during the year to see how you're coming. Keep notes on it. And you're going to see why I say that in just one moment. And then at the end of the year, make sure you stop, pause, sit there, go back over the year and see what you did accomplish. So now, last year we talked about a board. And the board was great. And I found that it was difficult for me to get the board done and find a place to put it. And with me having homeschool, it was really complicated, okay? Because I got boards for all kinds of things. So this year, I decided, you know what? I'm going to keep a vision journal. I don't know if you can see it because I got the thing in the background. It's a simple composition book that I put, and I'll do a video or something of showing the actual and put it in our group. But I covered it. I put my goals. I actually have the 2021 goals. I went through and put them in there. And on one page, I put the picture of what I wanted to do and named it at the bottom. And on the next page, I wrote out the plan and how I accomplished it. If I didn't accomplish it, what happened? And if it was something that needed to move to 2022. And I went through and did that for 2021 because we participated last year. And then after finishing looking at that, I set up my one for 2022. And what I did was I haven't put it all together yet because what I did was the things that I did not accomplish, I went through to decide whether or not I wanted to continue trying to accomplish these things. And if I did, then it moved to 2022. And so those pictures I have right in my hand right here to put in my vision book and to label it 2022. So I did do, and I will look at mine and I will share on the video some of what I did. One of my visions was to have family dinner times. Well, the goal was set up for family dinner times. This is what I wrote, or at least reinstate them because we used to do them. Maybe a time within my household, the current people, we had COVID. So that kind of put a damper on me gathering the whole family together. Okay, that didn't work too well. It didn't work too well about gathering even within the house because of the scheduling of the families and things that they were doing. So the family dinner thing did not work out as I planned. Okay. And this is one goal that I said that was not met. And most likely I will not pursue it for the next year because I found that my family schedule is not conducive to everybody getting together. It was complicated. At best, they can get together Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve. That's about the best we can do. They are busy doing their lives and all over the place, and it's really hard to get them to come together at one specific time to gather together. And I found that was very difficult. And although as disappointing as it may be, I was like, well, this is not going to work for my family. My family is just, they're very busy. And so it became a desire that stays in 2021. And I don't feel bad about it because I understand. I analyzed it and looked at my family. It just didn't work. Now let me give you the other one. I had one in there that says I needed a new refrigerator for my basement because my girls were living with me, are living with me, some of them, and one refrigerator in the house does not let me just say, ladies, does not cut it with a family of 12. Let me tell you. So I needed a new refrigerator, and this one goal I actually reached. I did purchase a brand new refrigerator for the basement, and I'm glad that I did. Although I don't think they really appreciated it, but it was purchased and it's downstairs in my basement as we speak, and we were able to split up things so there wouldn't be so much on the one refrigerator. So that was one of my goals. Now, and then one of my other goals was my garden, my plants. Now, if I took the video background off, you would see I have plants. This one I did work on. We increased and we worked on our garden. My husband is sitting here all year long, and that for me was important because I can't get outside and do the garden outside like everyone else does because of my health, but I can have my garden on the inside. And believe me, I'm gonna eventually get the pictures all up of my garden. He has to take some more pictures. But I think we counted how many, darling? Was it
About 80 something.
He says it's about 80 some plants in this house. So, ladies, let's say that's one I did work on. And I am so happy. And I'm going to continue it. Now, the goal is now for 2022 is to do my photo album of my garden, to make my photo album and do that. That's my goal and plan for 2022. So, that's just an example of what I'm talking about. I actually wrote it down and looked and put to see what didn't I do. So, now I have a list of things here that I just did not get to do in 2021. Some of it was because of COVID, because a lot of things couldn't be done. But I have some things that I really, really, really want to do, and I'm looking forward to doing, such as I wanted to make a playhouse in the backyard for my granddaughters, and that's still on the burner. We had the COVID, we caught and actually my husband and I became sick with COVID right in the summer when we were supposed to do all of this. So we can safely say by the time we came back, it was fall, and nobody was thinking about a playground a little girl's house. It was too late for us to do all that building and carrying on. We want to put a fence up. We didn't get that done. That's summer work. Again, we were sick in the summer, so that kind of went by the wayside. I did start on my crocheting, but those who know me, who have been talking to me over the months, know that I'm still working on block one. Well, we can safely say Sharice didn't quite get that accomplished. I'm writing. I did do a little bit of writing, but not the book I was planning on writing. So that's still there. I worked with my pen pals. I did do better, but that's still a goal for 2022. I'm just showing you that I went through and I looked at my goals for last year. I did want to work on the photo albums that I'm making for my grandchildren, for them to have their own photo album to put their pictures in. I've got all the pictures, but I need to make the albums. I did start that, and it was my goal to work on it during the summer, and that kind of went by the way. So I'm still working on. I did make started working on another album the other about 2 weeks ago, and I just have to finish it. And my last goal was to put a new floor in the basement. Well, we didn't get to that either. That again was a summer thing. And needless to say, summer wasn't the greatest for us. But the cool thing about it is, I looked over last year and saw things that I knew that could not be accomplished, and it's something we need to change. And I took the ones that could be changed, the ones I could do, and I brought them over to the current year to work on. So, ladies, that's my recording. For those of you who are going to watch the replay, that's how we do our vision for 2022. I want you to sit down and think about it long and hard and put visuals to it, write it out. You don't have to be fancy. Okay. I just like pretty, pretty. That's what, if you're around me, I like pretty, pretty. I like pretty paper, pretty flowers, pretty things. So I will embellish my pages. But the most important thing is to sit down. You can do it on post-it notes, whatever works for you. I'm doing it in a book because the book, I'm calling it my vision book because it's going to carry out throughout the years until I complete it. Meaning each year I won't have to get a new thing. I'll just use the same book and move on throughout it and be able to look back. It'll kind of tell me what I've been doing to keep a record of where my vision has been. So whatever the Lord leads you to do, whatever God lays upon your heart, whatever he tells you and guides you to do, whatever desires that you have that you like to complete, ladies, let's put them down and make some plans to get those things accomplished. Again, I want to thank those who are going to be watching the recording. I pray that you will come one day to our girlfriend chat. The rest of it you don't get to see, but we have loads of fun. Sometimes we come together and watch movies. Sometimes we play games. Sometimes we discuss important topics. We get together and have wonderful time together in Girlfriend Chat. Girlfriend Chat has now moved from Friday nights to Saturdays, so we'll be meeting about the same time once or twice, once a month or once every other month. I haven't quite decided how often, but when you see that thing go up that says Girlfriend Chat, if you let us know that you want to be notified about Girlfriend Chat, by all means, I'm going to ask Donna if she could do me a favor. I think she is on. She's the admin of the group. If you could come on, Donna, and tell the ladies the email address that they could send their request to join Girlfriend Chat.
Okay, just send your email request to admin@histruthbetold.org.
Admin@histruthbetold.org, ladies.
And
Send
then
your
put the subject as girlfriend chat.
subject Girlfriend Chat. And what we will
Mhm.
do is make sure that if you do that, you will get an email from us when the next Girlfriend Chat, along with the link, will be available. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a wonderful 2022. I hope to see you on Girlfriend Chat. Bye, everyone.
Sure.
I'm trying to find the recording. Find the recording button. Oh, there it is.